told you that right here in Hampton Roads, there are 26 different grant programs that could put up to $60,000 in your pocket for buying your first home? Now, what if I told you that just last month alone, I had a first-time home buyer in Suffolk who received over $15,000 in grant funding that covered her entire down payment, her closing costs, and bought her breakdown? Yes, honey, we are winning. Now, what if I also told you that most people are walking away from free money simply because they don't know that these programs actually exist? And what if I told you that these grants aren't just for home buyers, that they can actually help sellers close deals faster and investors create win-win scenarios? Here's the thing, friends. Most real estate agents don't even know about half of these grant programs. Most lenders are not even going to tell you about them unless you specifically ask. And most home buyers are sitting in rental properties thinking they can't afford to buy, when the truth is they could be homeowners in the next 60 days with the right knowledge and the right strategy, and of course, the right realtor. Today, I'm going to walk you through every single grant program available in our 7 Hampton Roads cities. I'm going to show you exactly how to apply for them. I'm going to teach you how to stack multiple programs for maximum benefit, and I'm going to give you the step-by-step blueprint that has helped dozens of my clients go from renting to homeowners using free money that they never even knew existed. And by the end of this masterclass, you're going to have everything that you need to potentially eliminate your down payment, cover your closing costs, and even reduce your interest rate, all using programs that are waiting for you right now. Are you ready for this grant masterclass? Get your notebook and your pen because, honey, we're going to move through this thing really fast. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hey, I'm Sonali Hutson, and on this channel, I strive to combine faith, inspiration, and real estate to bring you the fire that encourages your heart with kingdom principles and equips you with biblical wisdom to make confident real estate moves. And today we're talking about the complete Hampton Roads Grant Program Masterclass, how up to $60,000 in grant money can change everything for first-time home buyers. So let's get into it. Okay, friends, so before we get into the specific programs and the cities, let me give you the foundation that you need to understand exactly what we're talking about when I say grant programs. Now, a grant program is essentially free money, and I mean completely free money that government entities, nonprofits, and even some lenders provide to help people achieve home ownership. Now, the difference between grants and loans are huge because unlike loans, most grants never have to be paid back. And unlike down payment assistance programs, they don't create additional monthly payments that increase your debt to income ratio. Does that make sense? Now, here in Hampton Roads, we have an incredible network of 26 specific named grant programs, and these programs range from $575 all the way up to $60,000. Now, think about that for a moment. That's enough money to completely eliminate most people's barriers to home ownership. These programs are specifically designed to remove the biggest obstacle that keeps families in rental properties: down payments, closing costs, and sometimes they even help with interest rate reductions. Now, y'all might be sitting there wondering what's the catch, because we've all heard that if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is not true. But here's the beautiful thing about these grant programs. For most of them, there really isn't a catch. These are legitimate government and institutional programs that were created with the specific purpose of strengthening our communities by increasing home ownership rates. Now, as Proverbs 21:5 reminds us, the plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. Taking time to understand and apply for these grants is simply being diligent with the resources that God has made available to all of us. Okay, so now, friends, that you understand what grants are and why they exist, let's talk about the real impact that they can have on your life and on your family's future. When we talk about the real impact of grant programs, I need you to understand that this isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. This is about transforming lives and creating generational wealth. Now, let me paint you a picture of what this means in real dollars and cents, because once you see the true impact, you're going to understand why I'm so passionate about getting this information into your hands as quickly as possible. Now, when a first-time home buyer receives a $20,000 grant, that represents $20,000 that they don't have to save borrow from family, or scrape together from their emergency fund. Most importantly, that means they can purchase a home today instead of waiting 2 to 3 years to accumulate that money. And friends, in a market where home values have been appreciating, waiting could cost them far more than $20,000 in equity growth that they're going to miss out on. But here's what many people don't realize, and this is where it really gets exciting, that grants also create tremendous benefits for sellers in our market. When a buyer has grant funding backing their offer, they're bringing significantly stronger offers to the table. They have more cash available for earnest money deposits. They're much less likely to ask for seller concessions because they have their own funding sources, and they can often close faster because their financing package is more secure and less complicated. Let me tell you about the emotional impact, because this is where my heart gets full every single time that I've been blessed to help someone get a grant program. I have watched families go from feeling completely hopeless about home ownership, thinking it was something that would never happen for them, to literally getting their keys to their dream home or their first home in 45 days. I've seen teachers, firefighters, nurses, military families discover that their service to our community comes with tangible benefits that they never knew existed. There's something so powerful about watching someone realize that the American dream is not dead. It's just been waiting for them to find the right resources. Now, with that foundation in place, let's go ahead and dive into the specific programs available in each of our Hampton Roads cities, because this is where we move from theory to practical application that you can use immediately. Now, let's start our city-by-city breakdown with Norfolk, because they're absolutely leading our region when it comes to grant funding opportunities. Norfolk offers the most generous programs in all of Hampton Roads, and if you're considering buying in Norfolk, you need to pay close attention to this next section. Now, the Norfolk NRHA Home Investment Partnership Program is the crown jewel of Hampton Roads grant programs, offering up to $60,000 in grant funds assistance. That's the highest single grant amount available anywhere in our region. Now, to qualify for this program, you need to be a first-time home buyer, which means you haven't owned a home in the past 3 years. You'll need to meet income limits that are typically set at 80% of the area median income, and you'll work directly with the Norfolk Redevelopment and Housing Authority. The beautiful thing about this program is that it's structured as a forgivable loan, which means if you live in the home for the required period, you never have to pay it back. But Norfolk programs don't just stop there, friends. No. They also offer the Homeward Norfolk program, which provides up to $40,000 in assistance. And this program has been increased from its previous $20,000 limit. So they're really investing in home ownership here in Norfolk. This program specifically targets 3 neighborhoods: Ingleside, Monticello Village, and Oakdale Farms. The qualification requirements are similar to the NRHA program, but the focus is on revitalizing these specific areas. If you're looking at homes in these neighborhoods, you could potentially access both programs, though you'll want to work with an experienced agent and lender to understand the stacking possibilities. Now, the strategic advantage of Norfolk's programs is significant. If you're buying a $300,000 home and you qualify for the full $60,000 grant, you've essentially eliminated your down payment, your closing costs, and potentially have money left over for rate buy downs or immediate home improvements. Now, that's the kind of impact that changes everything about your home buying experience. Okay, so let's move to Virginia Beach, which takes a different approach to helping home buyers. Virginia Beach actually doesn't offer city-specific grant programs, but this doesn't mean that their residents are left out. Quite the opposite, actually. Virginia Beach residents have full access to all state and national grant programs, and sometimes that actually provides more flexibility than being limited to city-specific programs. This means if you're buying in Virginia Beach, you can tap into programs like the Virginia Housing Grant, national bank programs, and specialized programs for teachers, veterans, and first responders without any geographic restrictions. Now, Chesapeake offers the Call Chesapeake Home program, which provides up to $25,000 for qualified first-time home buyers. This program is administered through the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission, and it specifically serves Chesapeake residents only. Now, to qualify, you need to be a first-time home buyer, which they define as someone who has not had home ownership within the past 3 years. The income limits typically fall within 80% of area median income, and the program is funded through the U.S. Home Investment Partnership Program, which means means it has federal backing and stability. Now, what I love about Chesapeake's program is that it's designed as both down payment and closing cost assistance, so it can be used flexibly based on your specific needs. Now let's move on to Portsmouth and let's talk about what's going on in Portsmouth, because they offer the Come Home to Portsmouth program, providing up to $20,000 for first-time home buyers. Now, like Chesapeake, this program is also administered through the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission, and it serves Portsmouth residents exclusively. The qualification requirements are similar to other city programs: first-time home buyer status, income limits around 80% of area median income, and it's also funded through the U.S. Home Investment Partnership program. Now, Portsmouth's program is particularly attractive because the city is experiencing significant revitalization, so you're not just getting grant money, you're investing in an area with strong growth potential. Now, Suffolk, where I've had tremendous success with clients, offers the Suffolk Home Down Payment Assistance Program, providing up to $14,500. This program is administered by Suffolk Redevelopment and Housing Authority, and you can find more information at suffolkrha.org. I've personally helped multiple clients navigate this program successfully, and what I appreciate about Suffolk's approach is their responsiveness and efficiency in processing applications. Now, the $15,000 might sound smaller compared to Norfolk's programs, but when you combine it with other available grant funds, it becomes a powerful piece of a larger strategy. Now, Newport News provides up to $14,500 through their first-time home buyer assistance program, which is administered by the Newport News Redevelopment and Housing Authority. Now, you can contact them if you have specific questions. Newport News has been very strategic about their program, focusing on sustainable home ownership and ensuring buyers are well prepared for the responsibilities of home ownership. Finally, guys, we have Hampton, and they offer up to $20,000 through their home buyer assistance program, but this program is targeted to specific neighborhoods within Hampton. This geographic targeting means the program is designed to support community development in areas where the city wants to encourage home ownership and neighborhood stabilization. So now that we've covered what's available in each of our cities, let's expand your opportunities by exploring the state and national programs that every single Hampton Roads resident can access. This is where the magic really happens, my friends, because these programs can often be combined with city programs to create incredibly powerful funding packages. Okay, so Virginia Housing is going to be your primary state resource, and they offer some of the most buyer-friendly programs that I've ever seen. Now, their down payment assistance grant provides 2 to 2.5% of your purchase price as a true grant, meaning you never have to pay the money back. So friends, let me make this real for you. If you're buying a $400,000 home, that's potentially $8,000 to $10,000 in free money just from this one grant program. And it's not a loan that's going to add to your monthly payment. It's a gift that makes home ownership possible. But Virginia Housing does not stop there. They also offer closing cost assistance grants for up to 2% of your purchase price. And on that same $400,000 home, that's another $8,000 towards your closing costs. And when you combine these two programs, you're looking at $16,000 to $18,000 in assistance from the state alone before we even consider city programs or national options. So here's something that's really going to excite you that I love talking about, and that's the Spark program, and that's through Virginia Housing. It provides a 1% mortgage interest rate reduction for first-time home buyers. So let me break down what this means in real dollars and cents. On a $300,000 loan, that 1% reduction saves you approximately $175 a month. Over the life of your loan, that's more than $60,000 in savings. That 1 percentage point reduction is literally life-changing money for a lot of buyers. For our community heroes, and I'm talking about teachers, nurses, law enforcement officers, firefighters, military members, and government employees, the Teacher Next Door program is absolutely incredible. This program provides up to $8,000 as a true grant, plus up to $15,000 in down payment assistance for a total of $23,000 in benefits. And what makes this program special is that it recognizes the service that these professionals provide to our communities, and it rewards them with tangible home ownership benefits. Now, veterans, you have access to something truly special with VA loans requiring absolutely zero down payment. But here's what many veterans don't know. You can actually combine your VA loan benefits with many of these grant programs. You didn't know that, did you? The grants can cover your closing costs, fund rate buy downs, or even be used for immediate home improvements. And here's another benefit specifically for our teachers, law enforcement officers, firefighters, and EMTs. The HUD Good Neighbor Next Door program offers 50% discounts on HUD-owned homes with the the only requirement being that you commit to live in the home for at least 3 years. Now, national programs open up even more possibilities. The Chenoa Fund provides 3.5% or 5% of your purchase price in assistance on a typical Hampton Roads home priced at $350,000. That could be $12,250 to $17,500. This program works specifically with FHA loans and has no income limits, which means it's accessible to a broader range of buyers. Now, major banks are also investing in homeownership through grant programs. Bank of America offers multiple grant options with a combined potential of up to $17,500. Wells Fargo provides $10,000 grants with no repayment required, and these can often be combined with other programs for maximum impact. Now, I always want to caution you when we're talking about major banks like Wells Fargo and Bank of America, because sometimes a seller is going to prefer that you use a local lender instead of using a national lender because they want someone that we can walk into an office and they trust. But there's still programs that are available for you to use through major banks. Understanding how to strategically combine these programs is where the real expertise comes in, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. Let me walk you through exactly how to apply for these grant programs, because understanding the process is going to make the difference between knowing about this free money and actually getting free money in your pocket. The application process might seem overwhelming at first, but when you break it down into steps, it becomes much more manageable and the payoff is absolutely worth the effort, and you're going to see. Now, your first step is to check your credit score, and this is a non-negotiable. I do not want to hear it. You got to know your credit score, okay? Most grant programs are going to require a minimum credit score of 620, though some programs will accept scores as low as a 600 or even a 580 if you're military. If your credit score needs improvement, I strongly encourage you to focus on that first before applying for grants. Yes, it might delay your timeline by a few months, but those months of work could save you tens of thousands of dollars and open up programs that would not otherwise be available to you. Second, you need to complete homebuyer education, and this isn't a bureaucratic hurdle. It's actually valuable education that's going to serve you well throughout your home ownership journey. Now, many grant programs require HUD-approved homebuyer education courses, which you can complete online in less than 8 hours. These courses cover everything from budgeting for home ownership to understanding mortgage terms to maintaining your property. They want to make sure that if they're giving you this grant fund, that you're going to know how to manage the house and you're not going to end up in foreclosure. Now, third, you must research and understand income limits, because every program has a specific income restriction. Most programs serve households serving 80 to 20% of area median income. For Hampton Roads, that typically translates to $115,000 to $175,000 for a household of 2 and $140,000 to $205,000 for larger households. These limits are adjusted annually, so make sure you're working with current figures. Now, fourth, you need to save for your personal contribution. Almost all grant programs require that you contribute at least 1% of your own funds toward your purchase price. This is going to show that the grant provider that you have some skin in the game and that you're committed to the success of your home ownership. Plan to have $3,000 to $5,000 of your own money available depending on your purchase price. The actual application process varies significantly by program, but generally involves working with approved lenders who handle much of the paperwork for you. This is where having an experienced realtor like myself becomes absolutely crucial. We know which lenders work with which programs. We understand the timing requirements, and we can guide you to the right resources.
You know what, friends? Every single day, people just like you reach out to me because they want to relocate to Hampton Roads, and I absolutely love providing them with the information that they need to make confident real estate decisions. And that's exactly why I have created several comprehensive home buyer and home seller relocation guides that are going to blow you away. And guess what, guys? They are absolutely free. I'm talking completely free. That's right, friends. These guides have everything you want to know. I'm talking neighborhood breakdowns, market insights, moving timelines, school information, and all the insider knowledge that we talk about on this channel. All you have to do is click the link in the description below, and I'll send these incredible resources right over to you.
Some programs have application deadlines, others are first come, first served with limited annual funding, and still others are available year-round but require several weeks for processing. So let's talk about how these grants work with different types of loans, because your loan choice can significantly impact which grant is available to you and how you can actually use that particular grant. Understanding how grants integrate with different loan types is crucial for maximizing your benefits, because the type of financing you choose can significantly impact which grants are available and how they can be used. If you're planning to use an FHA loan, you're in an excellent position for grant stacking. FHA loans only require a 3.5% down payment, which means most grants can completely cover your down payment requirement and still have money left over for your closing costs. Now, many grants work beautifully with FHA loans because both are designed to help first-time home buyers and moderate-income families achieve home ownership. The Chenoa Fund, for example, is specifically designed to work with FHA loans and can provide 3.5% to 5% of your purchase price in grant funding. Guys, this is a no-brainer. Are you excited about this? Now, veterans using VA loans have a unique advantage because VA loans require no down payment with full entitlement. This means any grants you qualify for can be used entirely for closing costs, prepaids, rate buy-downs, or even immediate home improvements. You could potentially get into a home with very little money out of pocket by combining VA benefits with available grant programs. I have literally had some of my veteran clients walk away with $0 and come back with a check. And when I tell you that it is possible and incredibly powerful, it's amazing. For conventional loans, many grant programs still work effectively, especially for first-time home buyers. Conventional loans typically require higher down payments, often 5 to 20%, but some as low as 3%. Grants can also help bridge that gap. The key is understanding which grants can be used for down payment assistance versus closing costs, because conventional loans have different requirements and restrictions compared to government-backed loans. Now, if you're in a rural area of Hampton Roads, you're winning. USDA loans open up additional possibilities. USDA financing can be combined with grants for truly minimal out-of-pocket home ownership. USDA loans require no down payment for qualified rural areas. So again, grants can cover closing costs and other expenses. Now, friends, let's have an honest conversation about the pros and cons of grant programs. Now, make no mistake, I still say if you can qualify for a grant, get it. I believe in giving you the complete picture, so let's talk honestly about both the incredible advantages and the potential limitations of grant programs. Now, the advantages are significant, and honey, listen, they are life-changing. You're getting free money that never requires repayment in most cases, which creates a much faster path to home ownership than trying to save these down payment amounts on your own. Grant funding also gives you stronger purchasing power in competitive markets because sellers prefer buyers who aren't asking for concessions and who have stable financing. Many programs also come with additional benefits like preferred interest rates, waived fees, or access to special loan products. However, there are some limitations that you need to understand up front. Most programs have income restrictions, which means if you earn above certain thresholds, you're not going to qualify. Geographic restrictions can limit where you can purchase. Some grants only work in specific cities or in specific neighborhoods. The application process does take additional time, sometimes 30 to 60 days longer than conventional financing, so you need to plan accordingly. There are also some things you need to watch out for carefully. Some programs are structured as forgivable loans rather than true grants, which means they require repayment if you sell or move within a certain time frame, typically 3 to 5 years, but I've seen some as many as 10 or 11 years. Always read the fine print and understand the specific terms of the agreement. Additionally, some programs have limited annual funding, which means applications are processed on a first-come, first-served basis, so you can actually miss out. To prepare yourself for success with grant programs, start your research and applications early because timing can be critical. Get pre-approved for your base financing first so you can understand your budget and qualifications. Work with experienced agents and lenders who understand these programs inside and out. This expertise can make the difference between approval and denial. Have backup plans in case your first choice program is not available when you're actually ready to buy. Most importantly, make sure you're ready for the commitment that home ownership represents, friends. Many programs require you to live in the home for a specific period, and home ownership comes with responsibilities that renting does not include. Now, let me share a recent success story that perfectly illustrates how powerful these programs can be when you have the right knowledge, the right team, and the right faith mindset. So let me tell you about a client that I just absolutely love. Now, this is the power of working with these programs. So I work with a first-time home buyer in Suffolk, a young professional who thought home ownership was years away because she was renting. She was trying to save for a down payment. She had some things on her credit that she had to work on. We identified that she could actually qualify for multiple grant programs, and through strategic stacking, she received over $14,000 in grant funds. These funds covered her entire down payment, all of her closing costs, and allowed her to buy down her interest rate instead of having to wait 3 to 4 years to save that money or refinance. She was in her dream home in less than 60 days of our first conversation after being in the market for over a year. Now, the blessing didn't stop there. Because she had grant funding, she was able to make a strong offer on a home that had multiple competing offers. The seller chose her offer specifically because her financing was solid and she wasn't asking for a whole lot in seller concessions. God's provision through these programs literally opened doors that seem impossible. If you want to get more information on these programs, you can visit virginiahousing.com. They have detailed information about all of Virginia housing programs, the income limits, and the approved lenders. Now, for city-specific programs, each city has different contact points, so go to their specific website so that you can get their information. You can also go to the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission, and you can get information from the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission as well. Now, you can also get my complete guide at grants.sonalihutson.com. It has tons of information that's going to absolutely bless you. It is updated regularly and it is completely free. So make sure that you click the link in the description and you get it. Now, friends, these grant programs represent something bigger than just free money. They represent our communities investing in families, investing in neighborhoods, and investing in the future. When government entities and lenders create these programs, they're saying, we believe home ownership matters, and we're willing to put resources behind what we believe. Now, as believers, we're called to be good stewards over the resources that God provides us. These grants are resources that have been made available to us, and it's wise stewardship to understand and utilize them when they align with our goals and our values. Whether you're a first-time buyer who thought home ownership was impossible, if you're a seller who wants to understand your market better, or if you're an investor just looking for some opportunities, understanding these programs is going to give you the knowledge that translates into real financial benefit. Now, friends, listen, hear me out. The Hampton Roads market is strong. Interest rates are stabilizing, and these grant programs are available right now. The question isn't whether these opportunities exist. The question is whether you're going to take action to make sure you get you some, okay? Friends, thank you so much for watching my channel. Your support absolutely means the world to me. I love helping people relocate to and from the Hampton Roads area, but even if you don't need a realtor in Hampton Roads, I've still got your back. I have amazing relationships with incredible agents nationwide, and we will work together to make sure that you have an amazing experience. No matter where you are moving to or where you are moving from, I know someone that can help you. So if you want to work with me, you can text me at 757-837-0096, or you can just drop a comment below. I'd love to serve you. Now, don't forget, I drop new videos every Thursday and every Sunday at 6 p.m. and daily afternoon shorts to keep you winning in real estate. Thanks again for watching, friends. I cannot do this without you. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.